not feeling great after that game. Hey guys, welcome back to another match review. This is Southampton 1, Chelsea 1, and honestly, I took some time after the game to do this review because I was feeling pretty down about it. I still am. It's kind of hard to record after this game because I'm just disappointed. Honestly, I'm disappointed, and it's a game that I thought that Chelsea should have won. It feels like a loss almost, even though we drew. And like, Southampton had not won a Premier League. They actually lost 6 games in the Premier League in a row, and Chelsea go and get a draw against them. And it's just incredibly frustrating, but let's get into it. So let's take a look at the first half. Chelsea have absolutely all of the possession, 70, maybe even 80%. But despite all of that possession, they could not get a goal. And this is something that I've been worried about for weeks and months now, that Chelsea just lack being clinical in the final third. It seems like we lack a decision making and just don't really know what to do when we get into that part of the pitch. Now it just felt like everything wasn't really coming off. If it was a pass that needed to be like very soft and just like very lightly weighted to a player, it was just completely overtouched, and it was just frustrating because I feel like we've seen time and time again that we're just not that creative in breaking teams down. We really struggle with teams that defend deep, and I just was not impressed. And then of course Southampton score a goal from their first shot on target in the game. Massive credit to Minamino because it was a really well taken goal. Azpilicueta kind of went down. He was covering for Zuma. Zuma was just like out of position, totally switched off. A lot of people are saying that the back three doesn't fit Zuma, and yeah, he just seemed like out of position. And I think part of it is that him and Rudiger both kind of play as this left center back and tend to occupy very similar spaces, so he was totally caught out. Azpilicueta goes to try to cover for him, doesn't quite make the tackle, goes down. Minamino does very well to just take his time, very composed in front of goal, and slot it home. So I know Southampton, and I'm just livid at this point because I'm like, well, how can Chelsea have so much possession but just do absolutely nothing with it, and Southampton have one shot on goal and they get a goal? So it was definitely frustrating. Second half comes around, we see Callum Hudson Odoi come on for Tammy. Honestly, I didn't even notice that Tammy was playing that much in this game, to be completely honest with you guys, because he just really did not have a good game. I was surprised to see him starting in the first place because he did have that like minor, I don't want to even call it an injury because he wasn't even out between games, but he did come off against Newcastle, and I just thought like maybe it's a little bit early to be starting this guy in a game. And Tuchel has come out and said that he wasn't subbed because of injury, that he just wanted to change up the formation and how we were playing. But I still question starting Tammy, thinking maybe it has to do something with the Real Madrid game, oh my god, with the Atletico Madrid game on Tuesday. Now, looking into that second half, Callum comes on, and I was happy with this change because I thought that he would inject a little bit of pace and energy into the side. He's been playing really well recently, and he's looked pretty good in the final third. Sometimes his decision making isn't 100%, but I do think that he does help to create things, at least create space for other players, and maybe once in a while take a shot. And we saw this resulted in a formation change with Mason Mount dropping as a 10, and really he was just finding himself in between the lines. He had a load of space, and we saw Mason Mount creating time and time again. He was doing really well, making a lot of runs, and I just felt like sometimes he was carrying the team on his back. Honestly, I was really impressed with Mason Mount. I think every game this guy gives 120%. It does not matter the score line, it does not matter how tired he is or whatever. He is just playing for the badge, and I love that about Mason Mount. wins us a penalty, clear foul on him by Danny Ings, and to my surprise, he was the penalty taker. I thought with Jorginho being off the pitch that maybe Werner would take the penalty, get another goal to his name, but it was Mason Mount. I was happy. I could see Mason Mount being the penalty taker, and it was a well-taken penalty, sends McCarthy the wrong way, and it's tied. So now at this point, I'm thinking, well, Chelsea can get back into this. It's time to turn things around. But it just felt like we fell off again. And it was just so frustrating. I was having such a hard time watching this game. And then Tuchel actually subbed Callum off. This was the major talking point for the game. I woke up a bit at this point because I was quite tired. And I was so surprised to see that Tuchel subbed Cho off after Cho being a sub himself. But I really like this from Tuchel, honestly. I like that he says, if you're not playing well, I don't care that I just subbed you on. You're coming off because you're not giving enough. And in his press conference after the match, he basically said that he wasn't impressed with Cho's energy and his counter pressing, and that's why he subbed him off. Personally, I might have gone for Alonso. I did not think that Alonso had a good game, didn't really deserve to see it out, and I could see maybe Callum playing even as a left wing back and bringing Ziyech onto the pitch as well. Maybe that would have offered a different dimension, but I can understand where Tuchel's coming from, and it was a risky move, and honestly I can't fault him for it. I like that he's taking risk at least and being completely brutal with his players, because that's what they need. And now it's just a matter of him talking to Cho afterwards and being like, hey, this is what you have to improve on, and Callum taking it on the chin. So honestly, it wasn't a great match in my opinion. I didn't think we played necessarily terribly, but I didn't think that we played well either. A couple of standout players. I thought that Kovacic had another good game. I don't think that he was as good as Mason Mount, but I thought that he played fairly well. I thought N'Golo Kante had a good game off of the pitch. He covers a lot of ground. He is really fantastic at breaking up play, but just when we're going forward and when he has the ball, I just feel like his touches aren't great. His passes just aren't precise enough. I don't think that he really offers that much going forward, and obviously that's not N'Golo Kante's game, but it was a little frustrating to see the attack getting broken up because of that. Other players, it's really a question mark in my mind now whether we're going to see certain players starting under Tuchel, like Rudiger, like Alonso. Are we going to keep seeing a Jorginho and Kovacic? Maybe we see Billy Gilmore come in there. I don't know. I don't really have the answers, and this is something that I'm curious about. I want to hear your thoughts about, because I feel like we are really struggling at some points. We can play very defensively, but then we just lack the goals and we're not creating enough and we're not attacking. Or we can play very attacking football, but then we're left completely open at the back. And I don't really have the formula, the solution that's going to fix this. I do think that maybe we'll see a formation change from Tuchel in the next game. Chelsea have a ton of difficult fixtures coming up. We play Atletico Madrid, Manchester United, Liverpool, Everton, Leeds. It's just an absolute doozy for Chelsea right now. So I am a little bit worried going into that period after this game. So I hope that Tuchel has some ideas about different formations, different things that we can try to fix this. It's a theme that we've been seeing over and over again with Chelsea. I don't necessarily have the solution. It's really a complicated one. Be interesting to see what players are playing in the next couple of games, how Chelsea can play. It's definitely going to be an absolutely massive couple of games for Chelsea, and a massive test for Thomas Tuchel as well. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry if I'm not as much my chipper self as I usually am, but I am a fan first and foremost, and this was a hard game to get through, not gonna lie. So if you like this video, please drop it a like, because honestly it helps me out so much. And if you like my channel, if you want to see more content, please subscribe. Thank you all for 3,000 subscribers. That's insane, and I really appreciate it. So thank you for your support, and until next time, I'm out.